Ever since I started shooting videos, I've been using the very same variable ND filter brand for all my videos, client work, YouTube videos, you name it, and it has been this one. Whoa. The JJC variable ND filter. And I actually think it has performed really good considering the price that you pay, because this is a $60 ND filter. But ever since Peter McKinnon dropped his variable ND filter together with PolarPro, I've been really interested in seeing how good this performs compared to this, and if it's actually worth paying almost 4 times the amount of money that you pay for this. So that is what I thought we should have a look at in this video. When it comes to the packaging, I gotta say, it is a huge win to the PolarPro, because this has the good old plastic casing, huh? But this looks really sleek, really premium, and it actually looks like you paid a lot of money for this product. So let's see what's in the box. Ooh, that looks nice. Ta-da! Here we have it. There's a nice photo right there as well. An autograph. Ooh. So this ND filter is a 2 to 5 variable ND filter. Meanwhile, the JJC ND filter is a 2 to 400 variable ND filter. And I also want to say that this is not a sponsored video, because I paid for this all by myself just to make this video, because I've been really interested in seeing how good this performs compared to this. But when it comes to ND filters, especially on a wide angle lens, you will get some kind of vignetting when you use them, especially with this one, because I tried it out myself. So I'm currently shooting with the JJC variable ND, and when you turn it too far, you can start seeing this weird kind of vignetting coming in from the edges and then forming this weird cross in the middle. But that is not because of the ND filter itself. It's usually because you are at 16 millimeters and using it on a really wide angle lens. So if we go up to like 35, it kind of disappears and covers the entire frame instead. So depending on what kind of lens that you use, you also got to consider the effect that the ND filter has on your actual lens. But I haven't tried this one out yet. So let's take both of these outside and see which one of these actually performs the best and gives us the best kind of color tone to our footage and degrades the footage the least. Cool. So I'm currently shooting with the JJC variable ND filter on bright sun hitting my face at ISO 800 f2.8 and shutter at 1/50th, and it still looks pretty good because you're able to adjust the variable ND to be so dark all the way from 2 to 400. But if we were to max out the Peter McKinnon variable ND, it's gonna look like this. And unfortunately, we have way too blown out highlights because we aren't able to actually adjust the variable ND filter any darker than this right now without having to go up to another variable ND filter. Okay, so let's do a couple of test shots and see if you can actually guess which filter that I'm using for the different shots. I'm gonna try to line them up as perfectly as I can and try to set the exposure as good as I can as well, so that you can guess and see which filter I'm using for the different shots. Let's go. How many did you get right out of all those tests? Because I couldn't actually tell a huge difference between the two filters. But there is a couple of things that is giving the JJC way compared to the PolarPro, and I would say that the color casting on this is a little bit warmer than it is with the PolarPro, and the PolarPro does give you more neutral, accurate colors than the JJC one. But personally, I actually like the look of the JJC filter, but that's gonna be like subjective and down to you that is actually going to use the filters. Another cool thing that I noticed with the JJC filter is that it actually has a circular polarizer built into it as well. So you can remove reflections from windows, from cars, from anything similar, and that is something that you cannot do with the Peter McKinnon. Whoa! Peter McKinnon variable ND, as far as I know. Not something that I noticed when I was trying it out. So that is a huge bonus for the JJC one. And when it comes to the sharpness of the two filters, I didn't notice that big of a difference of the two filters unless I actually cropped in a whole lot on the shot. And when I cropped into like 350%, then I started to notice that the PolarPro was a little bit sharper than the JJC one. So you do get a small quality loss when you're using the JJC filter, but it's probably not going to be noticeable unless you actually crop in to your shots that you're taking. And if you're just going to use it for YouTube videos and client work and those kind of things, I would say that the JJC filter is the way to go, because I personally don't think that paying 4 times the amount of this filter is worth it for this filter. And with that said, I don't think that this is a bad filter at all. I think it's great that Peter McKinnon drops things like these, but I do also think that this is way overpriced considering what you get. But I would love to know, which filter would you actually buy out of these two, and which filter do you think performed the best? Do drop a comment down below, because, you know, I always love to hear your opinion, so do drop a comment. And I really hope that this video was helpful for you, because I wanted to do a video like this for a long period of time, because I've been getting a lot of questions on this particular ND filter that I'm using. So if you liked it, do give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, that'd be highly appreciated as well. And Peter from Sweden saying goodbye.